Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. Yeah, it's lit in the Chop Shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based in debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30. Let's do a first take on Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Carter Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man of steals, but I made it still to the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket, put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, he hit me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the Chop Shop, cause they cutting up. It's Retro coming to you live to the Chop Shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the Chop Shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the Chop Shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop's the nation's #1 urban sports talk show and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. He's going to pop in the screen shortly. But, I'll tell y'all later what he's doing. But he's in, but he's just not on the screen right now. But let me tell you something. Let's start this day. I hope your Tuesday is off to a better start than your Sunday was. Than your Sunday was and your Monday was. And hopefully, just hopefully, we can muddle through, this stuff together as we continue to wrap ourselves and our heads around what happened, on Sunday. It's every day I got new revelations, I got old revelations, and remember, I told you I got something I want to share with y'all about, about how we can all heal and how we can all, get to a better place about this unfortunate demise of this great young man, and quite frankly, across the sports landscape, as people react to the death of Kobe. He was one of 9 people that cherished in the helicopter crash on Sunday, and we got more details about what happened, in the flight. That'll come up a little later, maybe, but you know what? The ramifications are still being felt. There was going to be a game tonight at the Staples Center between the Lakers and the Clippers, with the Lakers being the home team. And y'all, and what's so significant about this, the NBA canceled this game, okay? And just for the second time since the JFK assassinations, because if you remember in 2013, after the Boston Marathon bombing, the Celtics, they canceled that game between the Celtics and the Pacers. and they didn't play the game. They didn't even make up the game. That particular year, both teams just played 81 games. So that was, that's an asterisk that, y'all can put in there and understand. But the NBA has decided we're not going to play the game, and it's postponed it, right? And quite frankly, simply the Lakers just didn't feel like it. They wasn't ready to put on a game or an event and everything that goes with this particular event after the first home game after the death of Kobe. You know how you have to, I know they were going to do a lot of memorial stuff to him, a lot of tributes to him. That kind of stuff takes time. And then you have to be sensitive about the whims of Vanessa, his wife. And, it's just so much stuff goes on, which means the Lakers will next take to the court on Friday at a home game against the Blazers. And they will, I see Jimmy then popped on the screen. I'm gonna put him in there on Friday. But this thing has hit a lot of people in different ways. I know it hit y'all a lot of different ways. I know it's been hitting me some more because I'm finding out certain things about, not finding out, just remembering and bringing to my remembrance certain things that other connections that I have with Kobe. They got individual players that didn't play. Chris Paul didn't play last night. Kyrie Irving couldn't play the other night. People are going to look at this and they're going to form opinions about this, y'all. But it just wouldn't be right for it to play tonight at the Lakers. The magnitude of this game. You remember the Christmas Day game. It's just so much stuff go when you're playing the Clippers. And they will be celebrating 20 years of Kobe's life, man, that night. So those kind of things, me smart enough to know those kind of things take time. And it's just, you got to remember the Lakers is one of the greatest organizations of all time. So it would be so much more than a game. I just don't think they'd be ready. And I'm going, it's going to require a lot of planning. I don't know if Vanessa and the family, I don't think she would be ready. You got to realize, y'all, and Jimmy, I don't know if you know this, they still haven't recovered all the bodies. That was a heck of an impact, Jimmy. The more I'm learning about this impact, they hit that ground going 161 miles an hour. And stuff spread out. So it's and then you have just so much daylight. And like I was saying yesterday, it's so hard to get to the place. These people was telling me about it. The people that live in that area, they said, Rob, you remember that canyon? We drove around and you saw some cars. Jimmy, I was going to Malibu, passing Pepperdine. So it's this road. I forgot the name of the street. If anybody know, it's Laurel, some might be Laurel Canyon Drive. Might be. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to it because y'all always want to hold me to something. But Jimmy, I'm riding, so I'm looking down. It's a deep, deep, deep embankment. So me, I'm gonna get out the car and go over there, right by Pepperdine. Jimmy, I look over. There's some cars still down there that they couldn't get out. I'm gonna repeat this. It's some cars down there that they still couldn't get out. If ever you go into Pepperdine and you're going down there, I'm gonna find out the name of the road. I'm gonna text somebody. But go look over there. Them cars are probably still there. But Jimmy, I just wanted to share that with you. I know I don't know if you heard the Lakers postponing that game with the Clippers tonight, rightfully so. I talked to Sam Cassell this morning. Hey y'all, talking to NBA players and talking to coaches and talking to the guys that's around this stuff. Those guys, that's hitting those guys pretty hard, Jim. And the more I talk to the guys, I got more to share you. And don't forget, I got some later on this week, probably, maybe tomorrow, maybe the Wednesday, just that'll help you cope through this situation. But Jimmy, what you got? What you got going on, baby? Huh? Jimmy, unmute yourself, baby. Unmute yourself. I know you're trying to.
Yeah.
Now go.
Yeah, now we ready to roll. Crazy
Okay.
story. Shout out to all you guys and girls out there today. We're going to try to, inject a lot more energy into your day, into your lunch days, so that you can have enough to land the plane and get on home and be more productive in your life. One thing that I immediately ask of you guys is just understand. Don't let yourself get caught in the mental circle to where something happened tragically. It wake you up for a moment, kind of like the person that goes to church. You hear the great sermon, feel like the pastor's talking to nobody else but you. And then you get right back in the car and flip on some NWA, or whatever. I mean, it just, you have to let it resonate for a little while. What are you going to do to improve your status and to make sure there's a job well done if and when your time is called? So that, I don't want to sound so much like church, but I just want to put it out there, because otherwise people go forget. People practice all of, I see Kendrick Perkins and apologize to Kevin Durant publicly. I don't know, did KD ever reply back?
I haven't seen it.
So, I mean, because KD replied back to his negative joust publicly. So if a guy apologizes to you publicly, then you are expected to, if you are accepting it, then you're expected to accept it publicly. If not, that means you can't dare go and say, you KD, can't go and dare say, hey man, we need to be in harmony. We need to keep Kobe's legacy. We need to do, no. You sit this one out. So that's the whole thing about paying attention and watching what some guys do and as opposed to what they say. In regards to the Lakers and the Clippers game, I'll tell you how hard this stuff hit over there is with all tragedies. These are adults in the extended workforce in the Staples Center. Counselors were brought in.
Grief counselors.
As all tragedies. But then you don't understand, a lot of people, the fingerprints of Kobe, it magnetized. It touched them. For example, the security guard, when you drive your car in, that security guard, just say, for example, I don't know, may have gotten an autograph from him or a picture with him and the daughter, and Kobe might have taken a picture with the security guard's daughter. Mm-hmm. Hey man, this is for you, and gave us some good encouraging word. That daughter may have went from making straight C's to straight A's because of that experience. The guy that's standing there with the thing in his ear in the hallway that you walk right by when you ever get a chance to go backstage or underground, back in the tunnel after these games, those guys.
Jim, that Lakers tunnel is lights, cameras, action. That's the best tunnel in the world to go up under.
Or whoever in charge of the secret passage that Chris Paul went through to get to those Clippers locker room, that person right there, he might have been, I'm just saying, trying to inject some humor into it.
Jimmy, they put that thing up under your car and have a dog walk around your car before you drive down up under that.
Yeah, the little mirror thing.
Yeah, they do all of that before you ride down up under that. But keep going. I was just interjecting.
So those are the things. So a lot of people just could not cope. And what happens is it goes to show just how, understand, I guarantee you guys some people probably having the courtesy to clean up their social medias, but just think about just a year ago, or early this season, when the conversation would come up about MJ, LeBron and Kobe, remember this stuff? And think all of the harsh stuff that people said that were LeBron fans. When he first got there last year to LA, about him versus Kobe. And so now you think about how now those people have to go and just do some self-inspections. Jimmy,
I'm gonna tell you something, and I share this, and y'all don't think about this. This the impact. This is why they couldn't have this game today, Jim. Let me show the impact. Think about this. Jeannie Buss. They grew up together. Jim Buss, Kobe and all them, they grew up like they grew up. He grew up with them, under them. Because I told their story about Jimmy. Think about this, Jimmy. If Rob Pelinka, not Kobe agent, he wouldn't be the GM. Let me repeat that. Y'all. So he's the president over there now. He's the GM. He wouldn't have this job if it wasn't for Kobe. So, yes, it's a lot of folks being affected. This guy was a part of that organization, Jimmy. Like you said, the people outside, the people, I mean, it's just, it's just so much that Jimmy, I messed around and text Leah Wilcox. She Googleable. Krista Chin, she Googleable. These two high-ranking Black women who were starting out when Penny came out. These are the in the Players Association. I think Krista in the Players Association, but I think Leah still works in the commissioner's office. But these were the young ladies that were responsible for nurturing these young guys and getting with the mothers and making sure all the young players. Even now, I introduced Krista to R.J. Hampton when we were in Dallas at the EYBL. And I said he would be one of the guys that y'all would be dealing with soon. But it affected them. Jimmy, and a great friend of ours, great friend of ours who happened to be the vice president of North American basketball, he was the guy responsible for bringing Kobe over to Nike. Jimmy, I got some pictures that I'm gonna share with us today. I didn't remember Kobe dabbled with when he was a free agent. He wore some Reeboks before. I don't know if you know that. I got pictures of him. It was his little Reebok. He was wearing everybody, because he was like.
Well, when Kobe was in high school, he was Adidas. What they considered an Adidas kid.
Yes.
And Adidas, remember, he signed with Adidas first. Mm-hmm. Sonny Vaccaro definitely got that done. Mm-hmm. You guys may remember the old moon-looking yellow shoes, the yellow Kobe's from the Adidas side of the fence. Mm-hmm. And when you say Adidas kid, that's the terminology that's used in grassroots when a kid is plays primarily on one circuit. Back in those days, the loyalty ran deep, almost as though you were in a gang, and so Kobe was an Adidas kid. Now, LeBron James, he was an Adidas kid too, but then when it got down that last year, LeBron was like, he really played the game well. I remember one weekend we were in Indianapolis at Nike All-American Camp. LeBron came now with his whole crew. Those guys you see now, Maverick and all those guys. LeBron came now with his crew. His arm was in the soft cast.
I remember that.
He was there one day, caught a plane. All of them was in Teaneck, New Jersey, the next day at the Adidas event. Because at the same time, the ABCD camp ran at the very same time as the Nike All-American Camp. So, I mean, you couldn't go and double dip back in those days. You had to choose one or the other. But LeBron knew how the game go, and he was right there at both of them. But back to Kobe, Derrick Rose. Remember, Derrick Rose was a Nike kid coming through the grassroots ranks. Guess who he signed with? Adidas. And at the time went to a college, went to Memphis, as a matter of fact. And remember, they had to forfeit the games because of the academic accusations for Derrick Rose. But Kobe Bryant, guys, once again, the more that you sit and reflect on it, the more you realize how this young man, how his words moved, his words inspired, and boys and girls alike. That's another different thing. A lot of our mega stars didn't affect the females as much as the males. These young ladies, young basketball community, Kobe may be the greatest, the most admired. And I'm just saying that. Remember, the book is not over for Michael Jordan or nor LeBron James, but of right now, of any of our mega stars in basketball, I'd go to sport and say any of our mega stars in professional sports, period, in America that is. Kobe Bryant, of all that have been deceased, he right now, it's nothing that's close to I don't think. You know, I really don't. Remember, I'm talking about this for touching both the unisex effect of Kobe. But anyway, guys, basketball, the Clippers are postponed, but there's other games tonight, other cities, and only 2 on tap that include 2 playoff teams as it stands right now. That's Boston and Miami. Should be a good one on TNT. Expect them to do something prior to that game or at the beginning of it. And Denver and Memphis is another one that should be good tonight. Aldo, you know what part of the season this is, right? We are at the halfway mark.
So it's 41 games been played?
40, well, a little more than 41.
Yeah, we've been past. Yeah, that was last week.
We've eclipsed the 41 mark. We're right around actually 46, 47-ish for most of the teams. And this is when, the trade deadline is February the 10th. It is 2 weeks away. Well, a week and a half, 2 weeks away. And
I got something, Jimmy. It's a game last night. What a game last night.
Oh, it's definitely a game last night.
Wait, hold on.
How about Eric Gordon?
Let's not even go there yet. I'm going to let you go with Eric Gordon. I got something else. I saw the Kings rally for a big win with a 133-129 victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Buddy Hield, indeed, during this game, they had some Kobe tributes, the shot clock violations and such. But Buddy Hield, Jimmy, poured in a career high 42 points. Sacramento came back from a 27-point deficit. De'Aaron Fox scored 22 points for the Kings. I know somebody on there, Kenny Gamble, would love for me to mention that. But he put back the rebound off an intentional miss. I haven't seen that. Because I didn't think the guy at the free throw line could touch the ball. I didn't think. But I guess he can.
No.
But we ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there.
Once he hit the rim, though.
I thought somebody. I guess archaic rule of mine. But as part of a 33-11 run over the final 5:42 in regulation. But let me tell y'all something. This is what history was made. Sacramento trailed by 17 points with 2:49 left. And according to ESPN Stats and Info, Jimmy, you might like this. Entering that game Monday, NBA teams are 0-8,378. I'm going to repeat that. According to ESPN Stats and Info, entering the game on Monday, the NBA teams are 0-8,378 when trailing by 17 or more with under 3 minutes. Since 1996, when trailing by 17 or more points in the final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter overtime, no one has came back from it. Guess what? Now it's 8,379. So, Jimmy, that was Jimmy, people don't come back to Minnesota Timberwolves. Oh my God! I don't know where they are in the standings, but they need some. Jimmy,
come on. You know what Minnesota's so far down there. Remember now, don't get it twisted. Karl-Anthony Towns missed a good chunk of the season, but that doesn't matter. Minnesota is in next to last. Really, they in last because Golden State Warriors gets an incomplete. They get an asterisk for this season. They don't even count. We understand. So rightfully so, out of respect for those 2 Hall of Famers that are sitting out with Golden State, Minnesota is the worst thing in the West. And that means, even though Karl Anthony Towns was out, right? He's back. But that means that the Canadian, what's his name?
Oh, Andrew Wiggins.
That means that gave Wiggins a prime opportunity to show and prove, for which he did not. He gets what they call, the word, it isn't a new word, but it's a word that is being tossed around a whole lot now. And they call it like empty calories. That's those empty points, meaning that a lot of guys that score a buck of their stuff when the game is within double-digit territory. So it doesn't have the score doesn't have any type of imprint on the dynamic of the flow of the game either way. And that's what's happening with Wiggins a lot right now.
But think about this, Jim. And Derek Johnson just brought it on. They got 2 number 1 overall picks on that team.
Had 3. They had 3.
Who was the other?
The boy that was with the Rockets with the beginning of the season. The one that got hurt.
I said number 1 overall.
He was number 1.
Who you talking about? Anthony Bennett?
Yeah.
I don't count him. That wasn't their pick. That wasn't their pick, though. That wasn't their pick. Cleveland picked him. Yeah.
He came with the trade, I think, when he with the Kevin Love trade.
I don't know when it came, but I'm just saying, number 1 overall pick is supposed to mean, to me, it's supposed to mean they add value.
Well, Karl Anthony Towns is value. I give him that. No, he's value.
But
he's value.
Jimmy, it's a leading scorer on every losing team.
Yeah, but Cat can't bring the ball up. So Cat, you remember he's not. But Cat is. Cat is solid. We give Cat. Cat is solid. Just that. This other kid, remember, they had Derrick Rose there last year. And Derrick Rose, remember, was on the bench early on. Then he started playing extremely well toward the end. They didn't want us. They could have signed him, locked him in, let Derrick Rose go to Detroit. And look at Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose may make the All-Star game this season.
On a losing team. So it's in vogue to just put up numbers on your losing team and you'll be All-Star. That used to be didn't happen that much.
Well, Detroit is only like 3 or 4 games out of the playoffs. So if the hunt.
But they're a losing team.
Yes. Well,
I didn't say playoff team. I said losing team.
Well, the 8th seed Memphis Grizzlies is a losing team.
I ain't said nothing about the Memphis Grizzlies.
I'm
talking about Derrick Rose right now. He's you talking about he's about to make the All-Star game on a losing team. That's all I said. And you trying to put all them caveats in it. I don't care if he's going to the playoffs or not. You're on a losing team.
But that whole rift has changed. That's just a Jim Hicks ideology. That has nothing to do with
the Jim Hicks. Dude, quit taking it personal. I didn't say you said it. I'm just telling you. I stated on a losing team, and you come back trying to refute what I said. But in the play, they might be in the playoff. That's not the issue here. The issue is they rewarding guys, Trae Young, on losing teams to put up big numbers. I'm just giving you a broad overview of what the NBA is now. That's all.
Well, that's for the All-Star weekend. Who is that for primarily? That's for the fans. So that's you got to give the people what they want. The fans.
But if it was for the fans, they wouldn't split the fans' votes up. They wouldn't. It used to hold up. Jimmy. It used to be whoever got voted in got voted in. They changed it, so it ain't all about the fans no more.
I say it's for the fans.
Yeah, but it's not
for them. That's for them.
Yeah.
Now, they don't let the fans.
So some fans want to see Derrick Rose. The only reason I would say Derrick Rose because it's in Chicago, and they might want to push for him to be in the game in Chicago. That's the only reason I would advocate for Derrick Rose, and I think that's why they're pushing it for Derrick Rose, because the All-Star game is in the Windy City, where he's from.
Well, I mean, one thing you have to realize, D Rose is having a pretty good season this year. Pretty good season this year. I mean, he just came off of going against Brooklyn. I think he scored about 25, 26, 27, something against them the other night. He's averaging damn near 20 a game.
So to be an all-star, you just got to be pretty good.
Well, you have to be exciting. You have to be making some type of make an impact at some magnitude, either to move the needle. He would be in the hunt. Brandon Ingram appears to be for the running away right now with the most improved.
That's different.
What's different about Brandon Ingram?
Brandon Ingram leading his team. Brandon Ingram, I like the way he leading his team. I'm gonna just tell you, I don't watch Detroit. Let me say a minute. Detroit, 17-31. Okay, hold up. So since you mentioned Brandon Ingram,
and they're right there. They about almost the same damn record, probably both of those teams. So that's the same.
I think Brandon Ingram to me is playing better than Derrick Rose. To me, and then what about Zach LaVine? I mean,
he would remember the coach would have to put him in. He's putting up good numbers. He had a 40 ball the other night.
But his record is better than Derrick Rose's.
And Chicago by how many games? Huh? By how many games?
About a percentage point. Yeah, but it's better. I just said better. Better mean I don't care if it's 0.1 better. Better is better.
The fans of Chicago, who do you think that they love, they admire the most? Zach LaVine.
I just said that, Jimmy.
I'm talking about. No. You said something else. I'm saying something else. Do they admire the most Zach LaVine in the Chicago jersey or Derrick Rose in a Detroit jersey?
I'm just looking at these all-stars, man. It's just y'all got to realize I've been blessed to watch Michael Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron. And so guess what? Let me tell y'all, things have changed. That's all I'm gonna put it. Things have changed. That's all. I'm gonna leave it right there. Now you want to go talk about the Houston Rockets? Eric Heavy Trash Gordon. Tell me about what he did last night.
Well, they put him in the starting lineup and he played extended minutes, and so as a result, he caught fire, stayed hot, and scored a 50 ball and a win. And there was no James Harden, no Russell Westbrook, and this made the bench even more depleted. They only got two guys, of course, and I always
Did they win?
The bench. Huh?
Did they win?
Rockets won last night.
Okay. With the depleted bench?
With the depleted bench.
Yes. Okay.
All right. And with the depleted bench. Okay. Utah, remember I said it last week, and I repeat it again. The Rockets are not the only team that is having problems or having depth problems or having internal problems or having identity problems. This right here shows, once again, Eric Gordon scores 50. No James Harden, who's been struggling mightily over his past 2 weeks. No Russell Westbrook, who's been balling out, who's been putting up some supreme numbers over the past couple of weeks. And still, the Rockets were able to get the dub and pull out the win. Once again, I'll pull up these numbers, 126.
But Jimmy, you remember every time they lose, you talk about the bench. They won, and the bench still doing the same damn thing.
Understand something that's different. Two of your bench players are now starters, right? Actually, three.
But all I'm saying, the production off the bench.
The production off the bench is similar.
It's similar in the losses. But you highlight them in the losses.
Alan, Eric Gordon is part of that bench as well.
I ain't talking about no. I'm talking about just look at the numbers right now.
Okay, but understand
this looks similar.
No. This doesn't look similar. Let me tell you why. Eric Gordon is good for 18 or more off that bench. Last night, the Rockets bench totaled 19 points.
Jimmy, the time you were complaining about the bench wasn't scoring. The Rockets bench wasn't scoring. You've been complaining the whole season. I look at the bench.
That don't mean the Rockets are going to lose every single game where the bench don't score. That don't mean that. I didn't imply that at all.
Why you bring it up then?
Because when it lose, that's the reason. When you win, that ain't the reason. A 50 ball from Eric Gordon is the reason you won that game last night. If Eric Gordon doesn't score, he's 6 for 11 from three-point land. Eric Gordon is the reason that is the main. Austin Rivers, 21 points last night. That might be a season high for Austin Rivers, 21. Then you got probably the best game of the season from Daniel House all around. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 5 steals for Daniel House. Remember now, we just understand.
So he just can't do it coming off the bench.
Who can't?
Daniel House.
No, he
started. He started last night.
That's what I'm saying. So that's a different.
But Jimmy, everybody can't start. Everybody got to be a star in his role.
But Daniel House, look how many minutes Daniel House played. Daniel House ain't never played that many minutes in the NBA. He played 46 minutes.
He had to.
Explain why.
Jimmy, I'm not worried about Daniel House playing 46 minutes tonight. I want to know when he can get his 17, 18 minutes when them dudes get back. What can his ass do in them minutes?
That's the whole point.
That's the point I'm talking about.
That's the point about the bench in the law. So you need that. You have to. Austin Rivers, he's not playing 41 minutes in a regular game. So Austin Rivers is probably playing about 20 minutes off that bench, right? So if Austin Rivers is scoring 21 and 40 minutes, that means in half of that, you expect half of that. So that was a regular day at the office for Austin Rivers. 21 points in 40 minutes is equivalent to 10 points in 20 minutes. You cut the numbers in half. So you look at it, Eric Gordon. Does he play 38 minutes? He can play. He normally can bring 32 minutes, something like that.
Jimmy, the team that lost, they had 2 guys that scored 30 points. The team that lost had 2 guys that scored 30 points. Donovan Mitchell and Bojan Bogdanovic scored 30 points apiece, 36 and 30 respectively.
That's the shooter right there.
Yeah, but I'm just sitting there, but they lost. I mean, we you know what I done found out, and I'm going to let you just keep doing it. Man, you can look at these stats and paint whatever picture you want to paint. You can look at these stats.
The Rockets were more aggressive in this game.
Yeah,
the Rockets were more aggressive. How do you prove aggression? You can prove aggression by simply when you look at a box score, look over at the free throws attempted. And that will tell you something. First, you look at rebounds. If the rebounds are in the same range, then you look over to free throws. Free throws. Let me read the totals to you guys. The Houston Rockets, first the New Orleans Jazz was 19 for 26 from the strike. 19 for 26. The Rockets was 35 for 49. The Rockets attempted right at 50 free throws last night. More aggressive. Look at the fouls, at the amount of the Utah Jazz guys that were in foul trouble. The Utah Jazz, they played 9 players total last night. Out of those 9, there were 5 of those guys that had at least 5 fouls when the game ended. So we know you get that 5th foul, you're playing ginger, you're not going to be as good. So, I mean, I'm just saying that doesn't mean and tell all, but that's one of the ways, if you ever wonder how you can tell certain things, you can draw lines. Stats don't tell you everything, but they give you an understanding. Understanding the Rockets were definitely aggressive because they had these guys on the rope as far as they couldn't touch the Rockets, proven by 49 free throw attempts. Then we go to the boom boom room. Shout out to Kevin Hampton out there. I see he said the starting lineup normally plays isolation. Well, yeah, when Russ and James are in there.
These guys isolate too. I watched the game. These guys were isolating last night too.
But the defense aren't going to give the same type
Jimmy, no. I'm not going to. These guys were isolating last night also. They were just making their shots and making their free throws. They was ISOing too.
15 for 40 from three-point land, and that was the Rockets in
15 for 40 ain't bad.
Not from three-point land.
That's right.
That's 37%. That's
it's not
much better than what they do on normal days. And that in the Rockets. Now, at the same time, compared to the Utah 12 for 42 from the line. Donovan Mitchell, we mentioned two of the guys had 30. He had 36 in that loss. 14 for 25 from the field was Mitchell. Clint Capella, I'm sorry, also did not play last night because I mentioned 3 guys from the bench were in the starting lineup. So that was no Westbrook, no Harden, nor no Capella. They were replaced.
So, no, you know what? Okay, I'm done.
They were replaced by Rivers, House, and Gordon. So that means guys off that bench that normally didn't get a minute slot had to fill in those gaps. And you saw the Cephalosha, 26 minutes. That may have been a season high. Frazier, who was in the G League just 2 weeks ago, he had 20 minutes last night. Played 6 points, no turnovers, good minutes for him. Clemens, 7 minutes, 1 for 6 from the field, 0 for 4 from three-point land. Not a good showing for Clemens. And Hardenstein, that's the white forward, the white kid, did well a couple of weeks ago. He basically, 1 for 1, 6 minutes at 2 points. I'm still looking for that version of him that he displayed a month ago. When
Jimmy, it's not gonna be that Jimmy. He was in the G League for a reason. He gonna give you some spells.
He gave us a double.
Isaiah Hardenstein. But so when a guy do that once, man, that don't mean he gonna do it again. Eric Gordon, that's the first time a Rocket other than Akeem Olajuwon has ever scored 50 points in a game, other than James. Eric Gordon might not do that no more. So, I mean, I'm glad they lost with all of the top players, the big 3 down, and I'm just glad they snuck a win from Utah, one of the teams that they're going to have to battle with down. That's what I like about it. So guess what? So what are we saying about Utah? Was the other guy shooting too many? What's the guy name?
Well, I mean, Utah.
What's his name? Donovan Mitchell. What? He was 14 or 12. Oh, he wasn't that bad. He was efficient.
I just read his stats off.
Yeah. But he 3-point land, 30%. Okay. I mean, they bench. Mike Conley came off the bench.
Man, Mike Conley's been heavy trash almost this year. We thought Mike Conley was advertised. He was going to be the guy that actually takes some of the load and the wear and tear off of Donovan Mitchell off Spider, but it ain't happened. Don't get it twisted. Utah is doing well. They're about where, if you look at the trajectory or the expectations, at the beginning of the season, many people probably pretty much pegged Utah to be in the 4 or the 5 hole. And right now, that's where Utah is.
Hey, did you see what Cecil just said? Cecil doesn't, man. Cecil, that game last night proved that coaching in the NBA sucks. There's no way that coaches of yesterday would allow you to play midgets and beat them. Had Utah coach devoted his play inside instead of trying to shoot on the Rockets, they would have fouled those midgets out. Hey, man, Cecil, you wanted the Rockets. You sound like you wanted the Rockets to lose. See, why y'all hate the Rockets so much, man? And others said they did it for Kobe. Who did it for Kobe? Because both teams were supposed to do it for Kobe. One of them going to lose and one of them ain't. So that's not fair, Olga. That's not fair. They did it for Kobe. No, because the other team probably was doing it for Kobe too. Boy, y'all have me dying. Y'all, hey, I love this. Then carry home what he said. These just need to continue to be aggressive and play with confidence. Win hard. Thank you, Kerry. Yes. See what they do. You know what James' nickname is, Jimmy? What's James' nickname?
No, his nickname in Houston is the Beard.
No. Marcus Pierce. The guys who I'm finna tell you, you don't know. James' name is Money. They call him Money. When Money get back, I'm just telling you, that's what they call it. Jimmy, hey, you can't get mad at that name. Because guess what? He got his own money.
You know what? Huh? They need to call him the Wick. Call him the Wick card. That's money, but you only can spend it in certain stores. It's only good certain times of the month. Wick. That's what it is.
Jimmy, James doing all of this resting, missing all of these shots. What if he get to the playoffs and get all of these shots and then he's resting and everything just get to clicking for him? Because they can't stop him. He just missed the shots. They don't stop him from shooting. He stopped himself. I don't want you on that bandwagon. I'm just telling you right now. I don't want you nowhere. I'm talking about the winning team. We're not going to allow you. Listen to me. I'm going to put up a petition. Like they got a petition now to change the logo from Kobe to Jerry West to Kobe. I got a petition against you jumping on the Rockets bandwagon. I'm putting up a petition against you. Nobody else. All of y'all can't help it. I'm putting up a petition against the biggest Harden hater in the world. When he get to them playoffs and he get to killing, I don't want Jimmy on our bandwagon. We don't want to hear. We don't want to hear.
I understand. Him in the playoffs, that's what most of the fans of the Houston Rockets.
I ain't talking about the fans of the Houston Rockets. I'm talking about the dude over there with that hat on.
Trust me, my voice is going to be just right in the middle of the common voice. When he gets to the playoffs, that's what you saying.
I'm not gonna let you jump on that bandwagon. I'm just letting you know. I got a petition. I'm gonna start it today.
Alan, so what you saying? So you saying the Rockets going to the championship?
I ain't said nothing. I just said I'm not gonna let you.
This Rocket team right here is going to the championship.
I'm not gonna let you
unless they make they would need a blockbuster trade.
Jim, look at the bottom of the screen because I don't want to hear that.
New coach.
Look on the bottom of the screen. We got 3 new subscribers to our YouTube. The Panther Network, Keyshawn Smith and Brian Gordon, they all subscribe to the Chop Shop YouTube page last night, Chop Shop HTX and YouTube. Shout out to these people, the Panther Network, Keyshawn Smith, Brian Gordon. I told you I'm going to give these people their prop. I'm going to put them on the bottom of the screen for a little while and let that marinate. Now, what's the next thing? What else we got?
And next thing, of course, tonight, don't forget, just tune into the Chop Shop. We were just talking about NBA, discussing some of the standings, and Houston Rockets currently, if the playoffs ended today, they would be the 6th seed in the postseason. And once again, we passed the halfway mark, and we look at some of the teams and see if they are going as projected right now. Over in the Western Conference, the Lakers and the Clippers are the top 2 seeds as it stands today. And that is that should pretty much everybody thought the Lakers and the Clippers would be 1 and 2. So there's no surprise right there. 3 and 4, Denver, Utah. Now, did you pick Denver to be your 3 seed or your 4 seed? Remember, it's not the exact number, it's the range. Because 3 and 4 mean you home field advantage, home court advantage, if the playoffs ended today. We just entertained it for the thought. 5 and 6, Dallas and Houston. I think both of those teams, that at the 5 and 6, were not expected right there at the beginning of the season. Nobody expected Houston to be a 6 seed. Nobody expected Dallas to be a 5 seed. Well, maybe some of you guys probably did, especially you guys that are living.
You need to just go on you because you don't know what nobody else thinking. Just go what you think.
No.
You can't read nobody's mind. You ain't no skin diver. You can't dive up under nobody's skin.
You don't have to be that to sit there and say what I just said. That's the whole thing. I don't profess to. Remember, guys, one thing about me, I don't profess to be that knowledgeable, professional.
No, ain't nobody asked you that. But you saying most people.
Most people
didn't. That's all I'm telling you.
Hella, when the season began, most people picked the Rockets would be higher than a 6 seed. How you say I can't say most people didn't? Most people did. Ain't no way in the hell you pick up Russell Westbrook with James Harden and say, oh, we know we're going to be the 6th seed. No way. The Rockets were expected to be a home court advantage team.
Thank God you're dealing in hypotheticals, because you can hypothetical right now. The season's not over. So
I know we're talking about right now.
Yeah, but the season right now is not how it's going to be.
Okay, Hannah. So what? That's what I'm saying. So what? What it's going to be? We're talking about right now. That's all.
Okay.
When kids play with toys, those toys aren't real. They can't come to life. Cartoons ain't real. You watch them. It's something that's satisfying the sight.
It's real to them.
It's real. Exactly. So
real to them.
It's not what's real to you ain't real to the next person. You give a dog a bone, that bone could be a play bone. Ain't a real bone.
What
is
your I'm just trying to figure out what is your point is talking about as of right now. Keep going. Keep your story going. I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this. Because it's not going to be the same.
Still, we're giving an update, a progress report, a thought of a share of opinions to what is going on right now at this point of the season and what's not going on. So that means now we're talking about we win the Western Conference. 7 and 8 seed right now. OKC and Memphis are the 7 and 8 seeds. Most people did not project OKC nor the Memphis Grizzlies, who had the number 2 pick in the draft, to be the 7 and 8 seed at this point of the season. No, so that means you could say they're overachieving. They're exceeding expectations. Both of those teams are doing that. Remember, Memphis Grizzlies got rid of a hell of a chunk off their payroll. They got rid of Mike Conley, who they messed around and had signed for $150. Got rid of him, and they're winning more. They're doing better. Ja Morant is exceptional right now. He's box out. Remember, when your team is losing, normally the fans aren't going to come out. So you have teams like Memphis and even Atlanta, who has the worst record in the league, not counting the Golden State. People still going to see Atlanta play because Trae Young. Well, people still going to see Memphis play on the road. Normally, some games on the road, for example, if Minnesota came to Houston and somebody called to you and say, I got 2 tickets to see Minnesota, right? You're going to be like, it's a Friday night, Saturday night. You're going to say, oh, man, I'm good. I'm good. That's all right. You see? So I'm looking at teams that just going through doing roll call. In the Eastern Conference, same thing. Milwaukee, number 1 seed. No surprise. Most people out there figured that Milwaukee would be number 1 or number 2 in the Eastern Conference right now. Miami, Toronto, 2 and 3. Toronto, no surprise as far as them being in the 2 or 3 spot, even though they lost Kawhi. But remember now, they were winning. Well, Kawhi got there. They wasn't winning into the championships without Kawhi because of LeBron James. Wasn't nobody getting to championships for 7 straight years. Was it 8 straight years with LeBron James in the way? Boston Celtics is the 4 seed right now in the East. That's about where the Boston. Miami is the surprise team of the top tier teams in the East. Especially thinking that Justice Winslow, who's a key piece on defense, and also having one of his best seasons because they've been able to move him and around. And they got so many. I mean, think about it. Then you have a little crazy man who just came back from Miami, and Miami is Jimmy Butler probably does deserve to be an NBA starting All-Star game. He probably did. If you really just look at it from the fact that this team has come a long way, Miami has, and they are very scary in the East. The 5 seed right now today, Indiana, 6 seed Philadelphia. Indiana, without Oladipo, nobody thought Indiana would be a 5 seed, especially ahead of Philly. And nobody thought Philly would be the 6 seed.
Have anybody ever talked about their coach? I haven't heard nobody speaking about their coach, Nate McMillan.
Oh, at Indy?
Yes.
Nate doing a super job without Oladipo. A super job.
I'm talking about ain't nobody talked about it.
Well, I haven't
heard nobody talk about it. Mainstream media definitely is not talking about it.
And they're only one game behind Boston. Yeah. 1 game behind Boston. 2 games behind, 2.5 behind Toronto and Miami. Toronto and Miami are both tied for that second seed.
Like I said, Nate McMillan, African-American coach, is leading that team. Next.
Orlando and Brooklyn, 7 and 8 seeds in the East right now. The Brooklyn Nets, think about it now. We know Kyrie hadn't played an extended amount of time, but at the beginning of the season, when Kyrie knowing he's going to be in uniform, a lot of us figured that Brooklyn would make the playoffs. So Brooklyn being with Kyrie, with Kyrie.
Man, understand, Kyrie just don't. Kyrie just
remind you something. Let me remind you something. Brooklyn made the playoffs last year without a Kyrie.
Don't mean you're gonna make the playoffs.
But I mean, on paper, you think that if I made it without you and I get you, then hell, I should at least jump in that 8 slot again.
But adding guys like, see, I believe in the word called synergy, where 2 + 2 = 5. The sum is greater than the parts. In this guy's case, Kyrie Irving, when you add him, it takes away. I just don't see. Hold up, phenomenal talent. I love him as a talent, but when you add him to your team, to me, you don't get better. He don't have synergy. He don't have, when Kyrie is a 2 and the team is a 2, the team wind up being a 3, messing around with Kyrie, or just stay a 4. Synergy means the sum is greater than the 2 parts. And I just don't think he have synergy. Nothing against him. It's just the way he is, the way he run his mouth. You know, he had it good. He had the king on his team, but he didn't want to be sunned by the king. And he just said, okay, I ain't going to be here. He go to Boston, tear that team up. I mean, it's just not tear, but guess what? In Boston, the sum wasn't greater than the parts. And when he went to there, without KD is a different thing, a monster. But without KD, I didn't feel this team was going to be much better. I just didn't. But you're right. They did make the playoffs. But remember, 2 + 2 with him on your team might be 4, might be the same, or might be 3, a little bit less. That's just how I feel about it. That's how I feel about Kyrie Irving.
And those, of course, talking about, if you just tune in, we're going through a lot of the teams in the East and West that are the playoff. As if the season ended today, the 8 teams from each conference, and did they meet or not meet expectations which were placed on them at the beginning of the season? And
what about the teams who disappoint you?
Huh?
What about the teams who right now that has disappointed you? That's not on that list.
That's not on that list?
Yeah, and the people out here too. McKinley Singleton, who was hey y'all, one of the greatest basketball players in Memphis history, is on the Facebook feed right here. McKinley Singleton. Hey, McKinley, who do you think? And Jimmy, you can go in, but who do y'all think that disappointed y'all? Look at that list, Jimmy. Who you got on the East?
On the East, the most disappointing right now to me, I would say, is
no. When you got to do that long, man.
I mean, I want to say Detroit so bad.
You really imagine Detroit was going to be, because of Blake Griffin.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Drummond is doing what Drummond's always done.
Okay, I got
Drummond
you.
is solid.
That's a good one. You know who disappointed me, and I just had a pop. The Knicks. The Knicks disappointed me.
13 wins.
The Knicks disappointed me, Jimmy. I came on this show, y'all know, bragging about the Knicks. I like the Knicks. I still like them. I like the move they made the other day with Steve Stout to build up their profile with younger players and in the younger generation. But what I was thinking about, Jimmy, when I go to New York and I price some of them tickets that people had to pay for, that young generation better have their pockets right to get in them Knicks games. Them Knicks games don't play, and it always sold out. Unbelievable, sold out. Hey, and Jimmy, and the think about this, y'all. 13-34, and it's one of the most valuable franchises on the planet. How about that?
Certainly ain't fun to play with right now. That's for sure. And so that's pretty much our NBA talk for today. Get ready to shift gears. We're in the back nine right now and talk a little NBA talk real quick. Run through some stuff. First Super Bowl, of course, coming up this Sunday.
Oh my, yes.
And I had kind of went on a limb. But I figured I'd say, well, based on those two teams, these were two of the best teams in the league meet each other. And it's not the first time. It's happened a few times in the past couple of years. But two hot quarterbacks. You have Garoppolo, and then you have the young king, the new king right now. And this thing, I'm looking at the numbers. They say they are guessing that approximately 26 million people will bet an estimated $6.8 billion between the 49ers and the Chiefs for Super Bowl. This is by the American Gaming Association, the AGA. They estimate this would be 3 million more adults will have something riding on this year's Super Bowl. And when they say betting on it, they mean by ways of the legal sports markets. They based on illegal bookmakers, and more casually with friends and on square boards, the squares. And remember now, it was just 2 years ago that the Supreme Court paved the road for states to conduct legal gambling and have sport books in each state. So 14 states have legal sports books, and more. That's 6 more than last year. And there are several more are expected to have them in place for the year to come. I'm just putting it out, just giving you these numbers that about the board. The more money is expected to be placed on this Super Bowl. Right now, the Chiefs are 1 point favorite over the 49ers. And I was looking at them saying, man, I hope that Kansas City wins the game based on the black quarterback, the kid from Texas. Then you look at the story of the Honey Badger. He grabbed, if you live in the South and you understand what he went through at LSU, he had to briefly go and admit himself into the John Lucas, one of his outreach centers during that time when he was at LSU. And he didn't even serve his whole, whatever it is, 90 days or 60 days or whatever the days is, he broke camp. And, and this young man is still, a lot of people had passed on him. I was watching Deion Sanders.
Remember, he was with the Texans too, Jimmy.
He was briefly with the Texans.
Yes.
Sure did.
Yeah.
And then went to Arizona and then ended up there. A lot of people passed on him. I watched Deion Sanders saying that during the time of his tribulations, the Honey Badger that is, that Deion said he went and he had to, he put put him up under his umbrella, and got a chance to learn about the young man. And there's a difference between, he was playing. It was alter ego.
Jimmy, he was left for dead. He got trouble with the police. He did a lot of things, but he resurrected his professional life. I don't know about his personal life, but he has record, and that's and some people need second chances, and even AB, they took the monitor finally off his leg. He can leave out the house now, because the judge had put him up on under house arrest. But this gonna be, let me tell y'all something. It's gonna be a unique Super Bowl. I like it for Andy Reid. I just something about him I like for a long time. I like the fact that I looked at his hiring practice. See, you learn a lot about a person when you're in power, and look at the people that you hire. You learn a lot about people. And I watched the guys around him on his coaching staff. His assistant head coach is African American. Eric Bieniemy. And he got on throughout this staff in places of power that Andy Reid put those people in place. So I can't root against him because he offering people that look like me a chance. Say, Jimmy, what you always said, all we need is an opportunity. And usually guys from under his tree go on the Doug Peterson, won a Super Bowl. What's his name? Harbaugh. He up there at Baltimore. So if I knew nothing else about Andy Reid, his hiring practices, and if I knew nothing about it, that's why I love. And I know y'all probably, because they're not winning, but the same way with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bruce Arians, that coach. Go, just do me a favor. Just go research it for yourself. Go look see who are in the key position. And Jimmy, look what's just happened with the Boston, the Cleveland Browns. They just hired young black man, 32 years old, as a GM from Harvard. The head coach is from Penn. Coach, it pays young people higher education. Some 32 years old, Jimmy. He running the NFL. Ain't but 32 of these franchises in the world. You remember I told you it wasn't but one more black GM. That's Chris Greer with Miami. Now we have two, and I'm bringing up his name now as we talk. I had it. Oh, here it is right now. Andrew Berry. I didn't want to call the wrong name. He's a high. He used to be with the Eagles. Guess what? Worked with Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, who used to work with who? Andy Reid. I'm just giving you a common thread here. I'm just connecting the dots for you. He's a 32-year-old guy from Harvard. He's going to join a young man who's the head coach out of Penn. This is an Ivy League model that we have seen done in baseball. Maybe the analytics, Jimmy, come to football. These some analytic guys that they are. And let me give you some background. Andrew Berry was a 4-year starting cornerback at Harvard and made all Ivy League 3 times. So in case you didn't know, in case you knew, but that's something that's off. And Kevin Stefanski, the coach, he was a 2-time all Ivy League defensive back at Penn. So guess what? They use their network and trying to bring. Now guess what? Got to cheer for who? Cleveland Browns. I know it's going to be hard, but I got to cheer for them. What else you got over there, Bob?
Well, they're saying that ESPN has released a report that Patrick Mahomes may have to wait another year for his contract extension. So they said it might, the right time, it said it might be sometime in the next 12 to 15 months to extend Patrick. And also,
thank God ESPN don't control that, but keep going.
No, they quoted Clark Hunt. So the ESPN story quotes Clark Hunt, and I read the entire
I always
quote.
remember this, Jimmy. You taught me this, right? When hold up. Before you make your statement, I want to qualify something. When the athletic director come out with an endorsement for something, a coach, you let coach gonna get fired. Clark Hunt, he coming out saying he's not, and they're gonna make it happen. Remember, I told you that. But
he said he's not what? I haven't read the quote yet.
But you just said they said he's not going to do his deal for 18 months, 12 to 18 months. Didn't you just say that?
I say it's not likely.
Okay.
I said it may, not he will.
What did Clark Hunt say?
That's where we are right now. Clark Hunt, he's the chairman of the Kansas City Chiefs, guys. He says that there will be a right time sometime in the next 12 to 15 months to extend Patrick. And when I say right time, I mean right time for both the player and the club. And then he says, I don't want to say necessarily it has to be this offseason, but I will say it's a priority to get him done. So so he leaves the door open and say it could be up until 12.
All I was trying to say. And
he didn't say that it won't get done.
Yeah, but ESPN. But the way you read the article in the beginning is like ESPN said it won't get done.
I just say the key word is may.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But
may and could, and that's not
like
will
I
and
said,
not.
I ain't worried about that.
I'm just saying from in writing, and trust me, I'm one of those.
Do you know who Clark Hunt is, right?
I do now.
That's Lamar Hunt's son. Lamar Hunt is the guy who the Lamar Hunt Trophy. When you win the AFC Championship, you receive the Lamar Hunt Trophy. He is the pioneer of the AFC. That's the guy who I gave y'all a great history lesson last week. That's the guy who started the AFL. So
that means if his son's speaking, that means he carry a pretty big stick.
No. He is the chair. He the owner.
Okay.
Yes.
So once again, Clark Hunt, that's the quote I just read you is from him. And with
that deal gonna get done. That telling me knowing Clark Hunt, that mean the deal gonna get done.
We know the deal gonna get
done. I'm
talking
talking about my 30 years of experience in this. I'm just helping you out.
Hell, we know the deal gonna get done. That's no doubt the deal is gonna get done. The issue is when it's going to get done.
When both parties agree to it. So when both parties agree to it. Wow. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. It's hard. It's hard,
so
but it's fair.
Guys, my point of bringing this up is because Deion Sanders this morning
said what?
He said that Dak Prescott is simple. Need to just sit back and wait. Because wait on this young man. Because he's about to sign. And it's going to reset the market. So that means that 30, and people arguing about Dak not getting the 30, or he should get 20 now, or whatnot, is going to reset the market. And based on the golf, what golf is getting, right? And that's going to be the minimum of what Dak is going to get. It's going to be higher than that. So if the market is about to reset itself, based because another quarterback, is about to become the highest paid, and I think the highest paid right now is who? Wilson? Who's highest paid now? Alan? That's your you don't know that.
No, this is your story. I'm gonna let you tell your story.
It's not a story. I'm providing news and intel.
I'm gonna let you tell your story.
I asked, well, boom, boom, room. which one of you guys, who's the highest paid quarterback out there right now? You guys help me out right now. I asked Hatter for some help, and he
No, because I'm working on something else over here.
He passed on.
Yeah, I'm working on something else over here.
Well, this brings along a good time more than ever to talk some college basketball in. We get closer to some stuff that I know a whole lot more about. And
thank you.
And that's, you guys know when it comes to that SWAC action last night, something that I kind of love. TSU Tigers 68, Arkansas Pine Bluff 57. The Tigers remain tied for first in the SWAC and currently holds the tiebreaker after beating Prairie View a couple of weeks ago. Prairie View won last night, 102-83 over Mississippi Valley. So PV and TSU are both 6-1 right now. Alcorn, the only team in the SWAC to have beaten TSU, they won 63-60 over Alabama State last night. Alcorn is 6-2. They're in third place in the SWAC right now. The Southern Jaguars, who are fourth place in the SWAC right now, they picked up a win, 21-point victory at home over Alabama A&M, 67-46. And Southern's 5-3. In case you went in the rest of the SWAC, Jackson State and Grambling both are tied for fifth seed. Pine Bluff, Alabama State, and Alabama A&M are tied for at 2-5, and Mississippi Valley is in last place at 1-6. And so, looking in the Boomer Room, shout out to you guys. Thanks so much, guys, for the comments and everything. And that's why I thought I'd mention Russell Wilson at 140. So yes, thanks a bunch, Chadman and Todd Holmes and John Newsom, Derek Johnson and Freight. For that, I just wanted to make sure. I thought it was.
Several people said. Somebody said golf. Somebody said it's several comments on that. Different comments. All of them different. Golf.
No, it's one person said golf, Hatter.
Two people said golf, Jimmy. Go back. Otha Brown and Jeremy Davis said golf.
Two people says golf, and 5 people says Russell Wilson.
So what that mean to you? What that mean to you? Since you want to go back.
Well, I'm going to go with the majority. If 5 people say that on this Boomer Room, I'm trusting the whole Boomer Room. If 5 of them that come after the other 2, that means they were correcting the other 2.
What else we got about college basketball?
And Jeremy, who was one that said golf, he's came back and corrected himself and said, yes, Wilson is the current highest paid NFL QB. Okay. So that's thank you guys on that in the Boomer Room. But once again, expect now for Mahomes to, once Dak Prescott is not about to redo his contract before Pat Mahomes does his. That's what the point is from earlier. The market is about to reset. And then once it does, then Dak will walk in there and Dak will feel like he's getting good average money, but it's going to be an uptick on what he would have gotten had Pat Mahomes not re-upped. So that's the thing on that. Now, once again, we're talking college basketball, and I was taking you guys on the SWAC. Did you know that the SWAC championships, of course, is in Birmingham, to be in March?
Jimmy, I got a question. I want to help you because you mentioned something.
Hold on. Okay. Cricket Wireless
Cricket
is now the sponsor of the SWAC championships. Not Boost Mobile, not AT&T, not T-Mobile. Cricket Wireless is the sponsor of the SWAC basketball men and women's championship, and I just thought I'd let you guys know that. I mean,
what's
I don't know
the difference in Boost? I mean, what's the difference?
I don't know anybody. I know people with Boost Mobile phones. I know people with Boost Mobile product. I don't know anybody right now with Cricket products right now. I just don't. I used to. Cricket made a splurge early on and Boost Mobile bumped them out the way. But I'm just amazed now Cricket is diving back into the sports sector and the basketball sector. But I'm like, could it be too late for poor little Cricket? That's I find it amusing. Also, now what did you have? You had something.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Now, we got shout out to John Smith. I see you up on in San Antonio. John Smith in the house. Big Doug say cricket got some good commercials. The commercials are supposed to steer you to their store and get some of their product. Do you guys know anybody that got cricket account? I don't know. Mr. Katie has some comment for Robert Hatter. He says, I told you the #1 player in the nation at y'all getting your head busted in Memphis, and U of H will win the conference.
We don't have the #1 player in the nation anymore, Mr. Katie. I don't know if you must have been in a cave somewhere, and you must don't have internet or the TV. The #1 player in the country don't play for them anymore. What's up, Kier Space? One of the best comedians in the world is on the Chop Shop today. What's up, big fella? Yeah.
And so, John Smith says, Drew Brees gotta go. He killed our Super Bowl runs. 8-8 in the playoffs. We should have had 4 or 5 appearances in the Super Bowl. Let me tell you something. Well, Drew Brees already, I think he made a statement the other day that either he's going to re-sign or he's going to retire. So there's no other team that he's going to go to, either re-sign or retire. And at this juncture, the thing is, if you re-sign him, it's going to be for how many years? He's what, 40, 41, 42 right now? How many years are you going to keep? So that means now you're basically going to pay Drew Brees an extra year. You know, that's going to be a bonus for his services to you guys for being 8-8 in the playoffs. That's basically what it's going to be. Now, we got our mailbag coming up. We're at the bottom of the hour. Now, don't forget, guys, yesterday we told you remember this past weekend at the up in California, when Kobe Bryant he and his daughter and her teammates and families were about to go and play a game against Jason Terry and his 8th grade girls team. Also up there this past weekend was a team from Houston. Well, that team from Houston, the Nike Sci-Fair Elite, their director, Earl Allen, is going to join us on Women Rock Wednesday. So on the back nine, we're going to talk. So girls basketball will be in full effect on tomorrow on the Chop Shop. Earl Allen and his team were present at the event up in Calabasas at the Mamba Academy.
I saw some more footage of that, Jimmy. They had some more footage of the young girls, and you can hear the parents in the background. You can hear the parents in the background telling the kids, "You better go get it." Just like we said yesterday, you better go get his autograph now because a lot of people gonna be in there. You better go get it. You can hear there's a lot of footage, man. It's just that's gonna be different. That's gonna be different. It's gonna be different, Jimmy.
Yeah, indeed. So that's be good. So prepare yourself. You have questions, just jot them down and make sure you come on and join us tomorrow. That'll be on the back nine tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central Time. We expect to be joined by the director of the Sci-Fair Elite Girls Program. That's one of the powerhouse Nike-sponsored programs in the country. The Sci-Fair Elite. They get the bulk of the top girls, and he'll share with you a lot of the alumni and some which have made it to the WNBA from that powerhouse program. So they and it's going to take us through the series of events. And from this past weekend, I saw Jason Terry in his conversation on the Fox Sports Network yesterday, and it was heart grabbing how the decision was made to not play any more basketball because obviously, some games were still going to go on. He was like, no more games need to go on in there. And thanks a bunch, Stacey. He corrected a mama facility in Thousand Oaks, and
what did you say it was at?
I mentioned Calabasas. I think that's why our hotels was.
Jim, that's the same area.
I know. I'm just saying our hotel.
That's the same area.
I'm thinking about Calabasas because our hotels from Nike Academy, Nike
that's the same
always be in Calabasas. So that's why I thought I always.
That's the same area, Jimmy. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's the same area.
Then you have Malibu is right there on the other side of it, adjacent to it as well, and all of it up in the good hills. But anyway, I didn't realize that. That's some good news. Thanks. Herb Baker says that Kobe and Gigi attended Sunday Mass at 6:30.
And Jimmy, I found out this morning.
What you got?
I found out that LeBron James talked to Kobe that morning.
Yeah.
When they were getting on before they got on the plane. So I just imagine me talking to you before I get on the plane, and then when my plane lands, you done passed away. That's why LeBron was so touched when he get off the plane. You know, I always want to know, who was that dude who hugged LeBron when LeBron walked from the plane?
I saw a crispy, a grainy video.
Yeah, it was grainy. All of them was grainy. Because somebody was sneaking. That's when you had to sneak. And Jimmy, I can't believe you hadn't brought up, but we got to get in this mailbag. But they said the Astros has decided on Dusty Baker.
Yeah, that just happened this morning.
Yeah, according to USA Today.
It just was released this morning. USA Today, one of their writers broke that news, and Dusty Baker, the new manager for the Houston Astros. Let me tell you like this: any manager who sports a toothpick out the side of his mouth, that's my type of guy. I'm down. I was down with Dusty Baker from his days as a Los Angeles Dodger. I was down with him when he was coaching the Giants. I really didn't rock with him much with the Cubs. You know, but I'm down with Dusty Baker. And this city, with all the good food we have in Houston, Dusty Baker gonna love it in H-Town. Because you know what? This has a chance to redeem any sour feelings that you may have as an Astro fan for the departure and the firing of Bo Porter. This is a chance to redeem it because Dusty Baker, he's been around. He's coached Hall of Famers. He's played with Hall of Fame. Is Dusty should be in the Hall of Fame.
Probably. I don't know. But Jimmy, back to the mailbag, I got a couple of interesting. They sent them to action to the mailbox. And maybe they said, love you guys took the time to speak on Kobe. I was never a Kobe fan as a basketball fan. You had to love him, though. I know the NBA is positioning the Lakers-Clipper game, is postponing, the Lakers and the Clipper game. But when they do play, I think the team should honor him by LeBron wearing 24, Kawhi wearing number 8, Anthony Davis wearing number 10, USA, Paul George wearing number 33, high school number. It also would be cool to for the All-Star game to have purple and gold jersey. That ain't gonna happen. Instead of white and black they have had over the years. Just a thought for greatness. That was one. I got a couple of more, but that was one if y'all want to comment on that.
And now we have a couple people in the Boomer Room claim to be kinfolk of Dusty Baker.
Well, that's good. Let them, Doug. That's good.
And
we're going to see.
And then also Herb Baker says he's a distant cousin of Dusty Baker. So that means
and Herb is kin.
That's what that must mean. So
it ain't so, Doug.
Get online and go check your family tree and ask some questions because Herb and Doug may be good kinfolk.
Hey, call Skip Gates. Skip Gates. He'll take you back and do it. The one of the professors at Georgetown. One of the guy, the police, they profile up there. But Jimmy, okay, all right, okay, I got to know, okay.
And in the mail, in the mailbag on the Boomer Room, John Smith asked, "Will Houston, talking about grassroots basketball?
Yeah.
Will Houston hoops be nice this year? The defenders, will they be nice this year? The question I have,
we don't know.
Who in H-Town will be shoe circuit sponsored. Well, in Houston, John, the Houston Hoops are sponsored with Nike.
Right.
With it. Team Harden is with Adidas.
Right.
The Houston Defenders are with Under Armour.
Right.
And the John Lucas Enterprises has a Nike sponsorship. And John Lucas declined a 17U team. It was offered to him as a early on, a EYBL spot, but he declined at the advice of many because it just ain't that much talent to go out there with a 17U team with the EYBL and get your head beat in, and then you lose some of your steam. Remember, John Luke, the JL3 16U last year pretty much came in last place. The 15U made it to Peace Jam. So that 15U now team is the 16U now. So they are the personification of the program. Now I hear that JL3 may field a 17U team, but that team won't be part of the EYBL just to do, you can do one like the Houston Defenders, have multiple teams, and a lot of other teams in the past. Basketball University, when they were existing, they had a red team, a white team, a gray team, whatever. So a lot of teams have done that in the past, and that's pretty much common. So expect maybe it's a possibility that JL3 will field a 17U team, but it won't be with any sponsorship dollars from Nike. But those are only, as it stands, only 4 programs in Greater Houston who are fully sneaker sponsored for their top team. Now the sneaker sponsorships, guys, it is primarily earmarked for your top team. That's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that. Those other teams, and for the most part, have to fend for themselves. They will get product in the budget, but money-wise, most of those other teams have to fend. That's why you see a lot of the times, many of those teams, a lot of guys, the new fad is you identify a family that's economically favorable with a young person that plays on that as a son or a daughter, and you get that, and you lure him to your program, and he's going to, that guy will approach you, the sneaker flavored team, and offer you with a deal. Hey, you take my son, I take care of the flights. Take my son, I take care of the hotels. Take my son, what do you guys need? That's normally how it goes nowadays, because basketball has attracted a lot of the kids who in yesteryear would have played soccer in America. Those kids are now playing basketball. A lot of kids who have been playing football in America. Back when the CTE crate scare was out, started a couple of years ago, a lot of those kids are now playing basketball. So that's kind of like, to hope that answers your question, how pretty much how it goes as far as the economics that when a lot of the grassroots program. And he asked, will they be nice? The Defenders, they're going to always have a player or two from out of state, like a international player or African player. I know Sir Isaac Heron, he's joining the Houston Defenders.
Oh, that's why I heard him talking about they're going to be good. Okay. I was wondering, I knew he had a motive, but keep going. Okay.
But the Houston Hoops on paper, you're talking about Langston Love and Trey White and they have a lot coming back. Big Ruben Foddery, they are, the Hoops on paper should have the most experience and cohesiveness, because at least 3 or 4 of the guys that played on the 17U last year are coming back, except for Arthur Kaluna. Arthur Kaluna is his family's moved to Arizona. So they lose him. But it's going to be interesting. Don't forget, I mean, the one thing about it, on March the 20th through the 22nd, the Spring Icebreaker is in Houston. Most of the sneaker teams, the majority of the sneaker sponsored teams, meaning the guys who get a check from the sneaker programs, or not say a check, the equivalent of a check is getting a credit on your credit card for or wired to your bank from the sneaker company. They will be at the Spring Icebreaker. I think the Houston Defenders are the only Houston sneaker team that will not be at the Spring Icebreaker, from what I understand. And that's, you know, I mean, people make decisions. That's how it goes. You got the option to go wherever you want to, but they want to go and travel, I think, to Dallas. So, but anyway,
team is that going to travel to Dallas?
The Defenders.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so,
okay. But I got another one for you, Jimmy. They say you guys had a fascination. They was watching the show, I guess, yesterday. They say you guys have a fascinating conversation about AAU practice while in season with your high school. My question is, what advice would you give a family that has the opportunity to make a sneaker team versus the respect of your high school coach that wants you to focus on your high school team? Opportunity versus respect.
So answer it again. I get the second part of that question.
All right, okay. You get the second part. You don't understand the first?
Just come on again.
Okay. You guys had a fascinating conversation about AAU practice while in season with your high school. My question is, what advice do you give a family, Stacey Houston, that has an opportunity to make a sneaker team? That means he got to go on a weekend to deal with the sneaker team sometime on Sunday, versus the respect of your high school coach that wants you to focus on your high school team. Opportunity versus respect.
My answer to that question is still stands as yesterday, and I applied a possible solution. And sometimes a lot of people, it's kind of like you bump somebody to step on their foot, and you don't want to say, excuse me. You don't, even the next day, you don't want to go back and say, man, my bad, man. I'm sorry, I didn't know I stepped on your foot. You probably even know you did it. And the thing, what I try to explain and wake up a lot of the guys who are volunteering their time to put such platforms together. That's a great thing. It's coming from the heart, and it does help a lot of kids, but not all at the same time. Here's once again, if you could find it somewhere inside your heart or in your mind to just reach out, or have the family reach out to the high school coach in advance. And it's a difference between the respect factor is this. Some parents at this juncture of the season, put like this, happen. There are some teams that ain't gonna make the playoffs. You follow me? High school teams. They know they ain't gonna make the playoffs, but they got an unsigned senior that could possibly use this. So that means the respect factor from that side of the fence ain't gonna be the same as a kid that's in first place and they're in the playoff hunt. But you still, if you piss off that coach that's in last place right now, what do you think he's gonna do?
But why would the coach in last place be pissed off? He's not in a playoff run.
Because that might just be his structure of being,
But it's on a Sunday. When high schools can't do nothing on Sunday anyway. Not supposedly.
No, not legally. They can't. They're not legally. They can't.
So, okay, I'm going to add to that one. I'm glad you said that. Then I want you to make sure you answer B's question. Put that. So, somebody came back on Twitter and said, Twitter, and your child has no college interest, nor any college offers, but the dreams of playing college basketball. Your family has been loyal to the high school program, but now it's your child's senior year and recruitment is moving in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Your child gets invited to a college workout where multiple players have been offered on site. As a parent, that can save thousands of dollars on education and another spring and summer of AAU fees. Do you put your eggs in other baskets, or you keep your percentages low and stay loyal to the high school?
Well, once again, it's going to divide along those lines. First and foremost, if it's on that Sunday, and if the coach, a lot of coaches, once again, the respect factor. If it's as a non-contact workout, in front of audition in front of a college coach, all you gotta do is let the coach know, let the high school coach know that. Out of respect, if that's a playoff team, out of respect, just let them know, hey man, we'll take him over there.
Hold up, because I know, I'm just seeing some that you're not addressing. First of all, these particular guys here over the weekend, they've contacted coaches. I know this for a fact. But other people just get mad at them. They contacting the coach. So let's throw that out. But if this kid been playing for your high school all this time, and ain't no college coach, the man said your recruitment is going the other way. If I was a high school coach, I said, man, get over there on Sunday, because it ain't working for you over here at my high school right now. Ain't nobody came to see you one day in our live period, in our activity periods. So a kid got an opportunity. Because these workouts on Sunday, y'all, if you ain't never been to them, then they don't be that, they're not that crazy. I've been to them. And I'm just trying to see where these guys, in the playoff run, you start on your playoff team, okay? You in the playoff hunt, he started on your playoff team, but still ain't one coach that came to your building to see him. What the hell these parents supposed to do? What do these parents supposed to do? Well, I'm going to just sit over there with Coach so-and-so and we're going to get this out of there. What? I'm just trying to figure out, what are these parents supposed to do? Boom, boom.
Once again, understand, first of all, I said yesterday, in case you guys missed yesterday's show. In January of a player's season, and on a weekend, there's an opportunity for a young man to go and he says that some college coaches is coming to a particular gym to watch some kids work out, try out, audition. Here's the deal. First of all, those coaches can't be Division I coaches, because Division I coaches are restricted when they can come out.
But these guys ain't got nothing. So whatever college coach.
I'm just pulling back layers and teaching at this point. So that means these are non-Division I coaches. The non-Division I coaches can come out any day of the week. They can come out anytime. Well, I'm telling you, I'm explaining how it can work how it can work without somebody being pissed off is simply because, and it's a lot of things, is that a lot of times when the high school coach don't know, then they can be ignorant of the facts. Because you don't know, then you're thinking that it's this and it could be that. You don't know that, understand. So what could do is that college coach who's coming into town, all you do is it's simple. You just simply connect in a text message.
What if what if that has been done? These guys say they did that.
To every single kid of the coach that's not pissed off. Because if a coach, the only way that a coach can be pissed off after that is if a coach says, don't do that, leave my kid alone. Then you proceed to do it. Otherwise, ain't no coach around is going to say that's on a team. Now understand, it's a different thing now. If that's, once again, the team that's trying to play for first place or second place, that's a big difference. That's a whole different topic. Because now that coach is saying, what if this young man twists his ankle? What if he does? Because that coach may not be understanding of what type of workout it is. So that's why communication, that's why the respect of letting them know so he won't be ignorant. This is how it goes. Coach, matter of fact, can you come on over? I invite you over too.
Somebody just said something and it makes sense. So see, all I'm doing, I'm just trying to see the whole situation, people. I have no skin in the game. I don't have no son. I don't have nothing. I'm just trying to get a clarity for this community, because y'all watch this show and all I'm trying to do is clarity. So I just said the kid on a championship team or going for a playoff team still ain't got no scholarship. And I said, playing on this team, right? But then somebody brought it to my attention. Well, what about the summer teams they've been playing on all of this dang time? You follow me? In other words, I shot at, they said, Coach, he been playing on your team all year long. Ain't nobody been in there to see him, right? That's what I said. But somebody, I think they came at me and made me think about something. Well, what about the crappy summer teams they've been on? Shouldn't they, since I'm talking about the coach he hasn't got a scholarship with the high school team. He didn't get a scholarship with the summer team either. Hey, he didn't even get enough interest that in the summer that a college coaches would want to come to his activity period, Jimmy. Are you following me? I'm just trying to figure this thing out. Is what dynamic? Because I know a wise man told me the biggest way to failure, Robert, is trying to please everybody. Jimmy, we're not going to please everybody. So my advice is parents, that's your kid. That ain't the high school coach's kid. That ain't the summer's kid. It's a guy right on this show with a hat on. Told me, Robert Howard, out of somebody that left the franchise program a long time ago. It was back in 2008, 9 or something, or 10 or whatever. He said, Robert, if you can get 1 year out of these players and their parents, man, consider yourself lucky. So, Jimmy, you telling me that years ago, why these people think they own these kids right now, the summer guys, and why they feel they own? If a guy go to one program to another one, man, he done left this program and going over it. Why can't the guy? Jimmy, you told me that for a reason. Why did you tell me if you get 1 year? What's up, Big E? Big E, if you get 1 year out of one of your players on your team, consider yourself lucky. Why did you tell me that, Jimmy? Because it was very soothing. Because when you told me that, get what I said? F them. I'm moving on to the next one. I never looked back. But some guys sit there and say, well, I'm mad at him. Now, y'all can't get mad at these parents, man. So, Jimmy, why did you tell me that?
I mean, because of the fact that those kids and those parents have the loyalty at that time was beginning to start to unravel the threads of loyalty. So that means now, if you at that time, when the bigger, the greater that you claim that the player is on a non-sneaker team, then that's going to attract the attention of the sponsored teams. So that means that's the trap that a lot of people play themselves into. Hey man, my kid better than all them guys. My kid better than them, man. You got to rank too low. You better rank. So then you rank him up high. Now they got attention, and then certain programs just want a kid because he's ranked high. He passed the eye test. We got all of the kids. We got more ranked kids on our program than you. Then it goes to we got more ranked kids in the nation than you. Then it goes to we got more Division Ones than you. Well, then the Division Ones, put like any sneaker team, sponsored team out there, is supposed to have 90% of their players are supposed to be Division One caliber, boy or girls.
But Jimmy, Stacy bring up something, probably because they have had a lot invested in the kid. I don't think nobody could have more invested in the kid than I did. But I felt some type of way when they did leave, Jimmy. But after I talked to you and you explained to me who kids they were, maybe I don't need to do that much for somebody else's kid then, Stacey Houston. Maybe I shouldn't put that much in somebody else's kid. Then I won't be as disappointed because guess what? They're not yours. I don't care how many tennis shoes you done bought them. I don't care how many plane tickets you done bought. They're not yours. And you taught me that maybe a lot of people don't think the way I did. I just moved on and went and got another one. Better than him. But I never sit there and say, man, that family's no good. That family. Hey, you know for a fact, we laugh about that situation. I don't care how much you done put in these kids. I don't care how much you done spent on them. It's their right. If they want to play somewhere else, they play somewhere else. That's just the way I feel, y'all. Everybody don't feel. I know for a fact everybody don't feel the way I feel. That's just my point of view.
Once again, you got decisions and you have choices and consequences. So, that's the whole thing. My thing is, once again, if you are operating in an area that you think that one day, if you piss off that coach, that you think that you may have to cross back and go and tap back into that coach or up on his umbrella, then you can't be mad if that coach closed the door and block and box you out. That's the whole thing. That comes with it. See, the reason I say that because when I came into this game, I was probably the most despised grassroots person in the area. The most despised. You know why I say that? Because the Tack Minor situation, when Tack Minor's mother and father signed me on with a power of attorney to go into the school and talk with any administrator anytime about his academics, that pissed off the entire school district. How do I know? Because my wife was the head secretary in the athletic department of HISD. Her boss at the time, Dave Hudak. His boss at the time, Ellis Douglas. Ellis Douglas was my principal at Cashmere. And the heat had grew through there to where as people were trying, understand, for them to sign the affidavit, meaning I had already got boxed out. Then I got the affidavit signed to where legally you couldn't box me out no more. That means I had an N1. And you couldn't win against the establishment. You're not going to win. Eventually, I'm plucking my teeth because the kid is getting accolades and national merit and all as a result. But guess what? At the end of the day, them relationships you got to go back to. Unless you plan on just keep flying the kite away from that, you better go and take care of your business.
Jimmy, so I go to you. Okay, help me out to this then. What is the proper way to tell a team you want to go play, you want to do something else, you want to play on what is the proper way to do it so this guy won't box you out? Is there a proper way to do it?
A proper way is understand, the kid isn't the person that's coordinating the workout.
No. I'm talking about what me and you just talked about, people leaving people program. I thought that's what we was talking about. Like if somebody left my program, what was the proper way to say, Mr. Hatter, I'm going to do this? Because I didn't get that. But I still didn't get mad at the people.
No. Recruiting, that's part of sneaker programs.
Okay.
They're paid, meaning they're earmarked money to go to cultivate the ground and find the best talent in their area. That's what they're obligated to do. If they don't, and they can't do it no more, then their sponsorship will become in jeopardy. They will be at risk of losing it, a la Basketball University. No matter how good your program is ran, if you don't have the talent anymore, then you're expendable. So there's no rule, no code on the grassroots scene as to why telling them you're going somewhere else. But if that program was good to you and they fed you and everything was all right, then you still, out of respect,
yes,
you should let them know at some point in time they shouldn't be the last to find out, or they shouldn't find out on social media. That's part that goes into that.
But Jimmy, a wise man told me this. He said, Robert, if they saw a better player than you, they'll replace your ass.
Yeah.
With no provocation. If that sneaker team got a better player that comes on that team at your spot, you gonna be replaced. How about that? Unless you wanna.
No,
you don't have to answer that one. But
no, I mean
you got something else you wanna.
Yeah, that's the truth.
We got 5 minutes left. We got 5 minutes left.
To be honest, Jim, you still may be the most hated person in the grassroots scene. Not hated, I think, will more be despised or envied. Probably. But at the same time, the level of respect compared to the year 2001, compared from then to now, is maybe a few thousand% of increase. That's for sure. But now I want to get to B. Scott has a question as she presented to us. She said that she saw and she sent a copy of the schedule for the Houston Hoops Blue Chips 2020 schedule has been released, and they're looking for post players 6'4" and taller to join us. This is for the 2023 team, the 15U team. Is what it says. We are also looking for sponsorships to assist with travel expenses. It's the Houston Hoops Blue Chips. Remember, I told you guys earlier, that money that comes from the sneaker program, that's for the 17U. Now, the sneaker and the product, everybody's going to get some product. Depending on how good the team is, how much product you get. And so, B. Scott, the question is, since they're going to have a question is the Houston Hoops going to have 2 15U teams on the circuit? What is the EYB Open? Is that a new thing like Rise, like Under Armour Rise or Adidas Silver?
I don't know nothing about that, Jimmy. I don't know nothing about that.
And B. Scott, I'm reading from top to bottom, and I've just see the bottom, and she said anonymous. So sorry about that. I was reading from top to bottom. That's why it's better to text that stuff to me. I'll tell you guys, I don't go on social media like you believe. I promise you I don't. I'm on Facebook maybe once after Chop Shop, maybe one other time during the day. I'm on Twitter maybe 2 to 3 times, separate times during the day. I'm not allowing myself to get addicted to social media. That's purposely done. Just like I would not allow myself to go and get addicted to a lot of things. So I'm sorry, B. Scott. I was reading from top to bottom. Did not see the request to remain anonymous on that question. But I mean, and because remember a while back, I told everybody, if you have a question and you DM me, then I will get to it. If you want to be anonymous, I will do so. So I think,
hey, Jimmy, Jimmy, like I just anonymously read those two messages, and the person did put up under there anonymous. Yeah. I mean, it's all good. Okay.
So anyway, the EYB Open, that's the tournament that will be taking place in conjunction with the EYB. EYB Open means there's a separate tournament that like Made Hoops that will be giving for pretty much any team to play in. You see? So that means a lot of the local teams get a chance in their minds to play against the Houston Hoops, 15U Red. Well, in their mind, they're playing against the Houston Hoops. Psychologically, we're playing against the Hoops. So that means as a lot of the sneaker events go on, they have auxiliary tournaments taking place. So that auxiliary tournament means the EYB Open, that'd be open division, that under Made Hoops, and as opposed to the EYB, which will be only comprised with Nike sponsored programs. So hope that answered your question.
Po B. You better watch when you send Jimmy some DM. Hey, and me too. I don't know how to do a lot of that stuff. So it's best send it to the mailbox the next time. Then it probably would be a little bit better trying to look at it on that phone, Jimmy.
Yeah, and so that's pretty much in a nutshell, guys. And once again, continue to send a question at the in our boom boom room, or in our mailbag. That's chopshophtx@gmail.com. chopshophtx@gmail.com. Can you guys please take out the time to share the show to a lot of your followers and timelines as well? It's definitely, we appreciate the convo. Is always healthy. It's always good. We try to help educate and at least get the conversation going to apply understanding, on all sides of equations. So no matter what, maybe, you guys, we had a couple of top conversations and a couple of topics that we entertained today. Mm-hmm. Just hopefully remember now, here's what I say. And I like this question. What would Kobe do? So since if it means that much to you and this Kobe is affecting you, what would Kobe do? That's what a lot of people are applying now.
I like, what would Jesus do?
Well, I mean, I'm saying,
that's what I'm gonna live by.
But that's something totally different, Hatter. But right now, for a lot of people, a few people that have been close to him have applied and written on their social media pages.
You can't say that, Jimmy, because Kobe did some things that people might not wanted to do.
No, I'm talking about when you meet, if you're at a crossroad, if you're at a situation that's dealing with basketball, not church, basketball, what would Kobe do? That's all.
Ain't nobody said nothing about church. Jesus ain't church. It's life. He's life. Ain't got nothing to do with church. It's life. Don't get it mixed up with church.
Not everybody.
You got 12 churches over there in your neighborhood. So it ain't got nothing to do with church. What would Jesus do is about your life. That's all I'm trying to explain.
But understand.
Yeah.
Everybody's ideology varies when it comes to Jesus. Different people's ideologies vary. Okay. That's just, but when it comes to basketball, there's a common denominator of people when it comes to Kobe and basketball. That's all.
What would LeBron do? What would Michael do?
If LeBron died tomorrow, then that would be a question. What would LeBron do? But Kobe was more philosophical with his comments than LeBron. Definitely more philosophical. His comments were more kung fu-ish to the grass.
On the basketball court, you should ask yourself, what would Kobe do? Would Kobe leave this team? Okay, all right. On the basketball court, because not what you. I just don't believe in that one. But it's all good. You believe in what you want to believe in. But at the bottom of the screen, you got the three people that subscribed to our YouTube channel yesterday, and the Panther Network, Keyshawn Smith and Brian Gordon. Thank you, gentlemen. So we can dance this thing out.
Yeah, that's it. You guys keep the conversation going, and I'll see the comment from Herb Baker. The kid teams on the 15U and the 16U, they don't pay to play on the Houston Hoops teams. That's true.
Kids on the 15.
Yeah, that's
16.
True. They don't pay to play on their team. However, that's not every organization. It's not every organization. Some organizations, their 15 and 16 have dues, have fees. But in that particular one, and of course, for John Lucas, JL3, I know that their 15s and 16s will not pay a dime. Now, their secondary teams, that's a whole different topic. But anyway, that's pretty much it for now, Don. We got a lot of stuff to get tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to, on the back nine, we're going to be joined by the director of the Nike Cy-Fair Elite Girls Program, who were attending the tournament, the Mamba Cup, which was in the Los Angeles area this past weekend, where the tragedy took place nearby. He will join us and take us through a chain of events that rocked their lives forever. And he's going to join us on the back nine tomorrow. Make sure you set your timers to come and join us at 12 o'clock Central Time for the Chop Shop. But meanwhile, for now, we up out of here, guys. Don't forget, go over to rcssports.com. There's a list of the top 10 games to see tonight. Go watch some high school basketball. Get your umbrellas out. It's kind of wet in H-Town today. But see you guys on tomorrow. On behalf of Robert Haller, it's Jim Hicks. It's time to slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing. I see you guys in 22. Chop shop.
Boy, I'm out of here. This stuff is crazy.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live.